And go.
There we are. Welcome back, everybody. We've been gone last week due to personal reasons, but we're back this week again with some more pathfinding adventure shenanigans. We're going to go straight into the recap from last session, starting with Magnus.
Okay, well, we started in the marshes of Gramont, making our way to Lalinda. Or did we? No, I'm on the wrong section. Excuse me. Yeah, we were in the swamps outside Lalinda. There was a heavy fog around us that was strongly suspected to not be natural. Not entirely magical either. Preacher was pondering something about Iodi with Marisol that I'll let them talk about. Zara had a remembrance about something about the properties of a dragon's lair. I will let her talk about that. Edemir did some scouting through the fog because it didn't bother him in the least. One of the waterways near to us was full of dead things. Between Ed and Marisol, we found our way forward and took the dinghy with us. The water appeared to be slightly acidic because we could hear the wood crackling and reacting to the water. Made our way to what looked like a temple. Estrella had a look through her spyglass and saw a winged figure and a humanoid throwing the bodies of sailors into the river. Yeah. As you can imagine, there was quite a stench. We had a discussion about plans and made our way forward. And Estrella identified the figures ahead. Some very nasty monsters. A huge troll who didn't seem bothered by the acid at all. And the other one was a very peculiar thing, with big claws and extra joints on its fingers. So we found a couple of paths to the temple that we could approach safely and came up with a plan, which is where things went strange. Preacher.
Why, thank you. Well, over the last few sessions, we have seen some weird things happening with our dragonkin, our master of disaster Yodi, that has been floating in the air during his sleep, muttering to himself about eating livers or something. We don't know exactly what's going on there, but as you will hear later on in the session we just left, there is more to be told on that story. We did make landfall and tried to plan out a little bit of an attack, and it turned into a very strong right flank for some reason. Everybody wanted to go on the right flank of this particular attack, which left two of our numbers on the left side, and I'll let them talk about that side and attack in a moment. We faced on our side a chimera, the troll, and I believe a human mage of some sort, probably a cultist. So we made very short work of the chimera, and the troll started in on me as well as the human mage. I ran up to the chimera and walloped it quite soundly. I believe some of our numbers had softened them up with some kind of lightning spell beforehand. Very nice. Unfortunately, the black dragon decided to jump out through the temple wall, the crack in it. Very large crack, by the way. and erect a barrier of blades between themselves and the party, most of the party. So we had a split. That force was, it was a hard time over there. The Black Dragon tossing acid all over the place. I think Ed got drenched quite badly. I had some fun tossing a troll into the blade barrier. But I'll hand it over to Ed, I believe.
Yeah, I almost got 8. That's about it for me, Zara.
So Medora and I broached from the far side of everyone else, so that we could intercept and kill the Dragolisk critter that was awaiting us in the murk. We smashed it up pretty good with the help of I can't remember Ed's lizard's name. Isoi, that's the one. With Isoi, and then Zara and Medora cut through the temple to join in on the fight with the dragon. While we were approaching the whole thing, we did see some omens of death. Very spooky. And after we killed the dragon, a magical field trapped Zara, Medora, and Isoi inside the temple ruins. Zara saw some shadowy figure step out of a statue, revealing himself as the god Gom. And then he rushed into Zara, and Medora saw some spooky wolf things, but that's because he's hallucinating. And that's where we ended, was after slaying everything and stuffing our pockets full of gold. Marisol.
Yeah, I don't have much to add, except that I think I'm developing some sort of phobia against dragons because I've never ever passed a fear test from them. We managed to do it. We tried to find out what's happening with EOD, but for now we are just tired, winded, and pretty rich. Who hasn't gone?
I have not gone.
Then you can take it from here, Mr. EOD.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty fun fight. I summoned a young brass dragon who kind of like tanked the big dragon for us and did basically nothing else. He served his purpose well, though. He was definitely ready to go home when that whole thing ended up. I also disintegrated a troll, which was real fun, because I'm pretty sure it was about to eat Edamir, which would probably not be great for us at that point. Other than that, I'm pretty sure I sucked in another dragon soul into my book of Not a Problem at All TM. And then we'll throw it to Shoggoth.
Right. So, on that note, you've put it about 6 hours between you and the Dragon's Lair. Made camp. You're fairly certain you're safe. I don't think Mador went, though, did he? No, let's do Mador as well.
Oh, it's okay. Mostly got filled in with everybody else. I will be keeping an eye on Zara because I saw that wolf image, even though he may think I'm hallucinating. I got another piece of armor that literally attached itself to my armor, and it has clouds, collars that have clouds on it, floating above it. Don't know what that means. So that's 1 down and 3 more to go. Otherwise, as Zara said, everyone split and everyone went one way and Zara went the other way. I said, well, that's one, who knows what's over there. So I jumped on that side. I got the final blow on the dragon as it tried to fly away. Otherwise, I think everything was covered. Now back to you, Shoggoth.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, you guys have put some time between you and the Dragon's Lair, not wanting to stay in the very toxic environment there. And Edamir has found you calling it nice is a bit of an overstatement, but it's a fairly safe place to make camp. On a small island in the middle of the swamp with some very strong mint-smelling bushes and everywhere around you. But the upside of that is that they are keeping the fist-sized hornets that are everywhere around this island away from it. So you do have the time to rest up and chill out a bit, except for Estrella, who got called out to do some high-speed, low-drag stuff with her spy organization. So she's put on her reflective shades and disappeared into the bushes, and will be back at some point. So back to you. I don't know who's resting, who's on watch, or what you're talking about.
First, are we going to Lagan or Lacanau?
You haven't decided yet.
I have a feeling that we're closer to Langon.
I mean, they look pretty much equal.
I don't have any particular preference either way. I don't think I heard anything from the Riverwatch regarding better or worse versions of either place.
I would suspect that a lot of the forces are piling up near Lagan to try to push north along the lake to prevent reinforcements from making it to La Rochette. If I was an evil villain trying to siege a city sitting on a lake with 2 pathways to it.
Well, then before the 6 hours of travel, I'm going to show the way to Lagan.
Right, so at least you've been moving towards Lagan at a pretty nice pace. Having gotten your pram back. None of your animals, except for Isoi, are very happy about the amount of fist-sized wasps flying around. Isoi, however, treats that as a all-you-can-eat buffet. But
Snackies.
those wasps are not bothering you due to the high concentration of some sort of mint on this island.
Well, I'll take the usual first rest and then stand watch the rest of the night.
I'll take the usual mid I usually take.
Can
I'll take the first.
I'll take one of the watches too. Can I also identify the mint and like stuff our backpacks with it?
Yes, you can. There's plenty of it. So you've got a little fire going. I don't know what's cooking, but I'm pretty certain you're going to eat something while you plan ahead for what you're going to do next.
I am munching on whatever comes out of my bag of German delicacies, and I'm making hexpresso.
Yeah, you're getting some sort of long meat sausage in a bun with pickled cabbage on it, it seems.
This is delicious. Anyone want one?
Aye, why not? It's that or the fish stew.
Handing over one.
Thank you very kindly.
Is there such thing as swamp mice, and are there any nearby?
I don't know, but likely if you want to hunt
There's
for
at
them.
least rats. I saw a few scampering over there.
Plenty of rats. Not a lot of mice in this section of the swamp. If they come in here, something eats them before you gets the chance to, at the very least. Right. So, as you're a quiet bunch, I'll just prod you along. It seems Preacher and Marisol are discussing something by the fire.
Yeah. Our standing orders wasn't just to kill the dragon. It was to
Oh,
reach
no.
La Rochette.
Yeah, we should definitely just sail north and try to get there as soon as possible. We need to get to La Rochette and we'll need to help them break the siege.
However, there's one thing I don't really fathom. Is there really a huge lake up there, or is that just a huge swamp area which is more or less a lake, semi-lake?
I don't know. I've never been here. But according to what I've heard, it's something between a lake and a swamp. So I'm guessing we need to make sure we don't get stuck on almost islands.
From what I've heard, there's a lot of giant poisonous jellyfish down in there.
Well, then we shouldn't go swimming.
If you want, you can do a nature roll, Edamir, to see what the lay of the land tells you about what kind of lake that's going to be. Well, you are a druid. This is one of the bigger inland lakes in Goldinglands, and from what you're aware, this lake is mostly runoff from the icy mountains to the north. So it's very deep and very cold, and only the southernmost parts bordering the swamp are, swamp-like. The moment you get out onto the depths of that lake, it turns into more like a glacier runoff type lake with a lot of weird creatures you don't find anywhere else living in it.
Ah, yes. I think that it's going to be a very deep and cold lake from all the mountains and glaciers melting from the north. Not much swamp.
Can our boat handle that?
I don't know, since we seem to have taken a bit of acid damage.
Should we get back to La Linde and see if we can get a new boat or something?
Last I know, La Linde had a bit of dealings with a cult. I don't know if we want to go back there.
Perhaps not with the head of the dragon. At least not until we have Rian. But there should be 2 villages more on the southern side of the lake. They'll probably have passage over, I guess.
We are currently heading towards Lagan, and I believe it might be a staging area for the troops assaulting La Rochette, so I don't know how much help we'll get there.
I'm sure they'll have boats. We just might have to kill our way to them.
We also have Iodi. We could try to dry dock this and see if Iodi could patch up anything with crafting.
Dry dock anything in a swamp?
I mean, there's some strong people.
Yeah, getting it out of the water is not going to be a problem, I think.
Well, we'll have to look at that tomorrow then, because we really need to reach La Rochette.
There's another question too. We killed one smaller black dragon. We killed one larger black dragon, which we hope is the parent and the biggest one. How many others might there be?
I think there were 3 children. I can't remember.
That means there's probably one smaller dragon looking for us and being kind of mad.
Yeah.
But I mean, after we've killed the 3, hopefully this last one won't be too big an issue.
Who doesn't say the troll and the lady we killed weren't the other dragons? I thought,
They were way too squishy.
but I thought they mentioned about being the parent of the larger dragon. The larger dragon being their parent.
Yeah, they were talking about offspring, so yeah.
And we've had run into shape-changing dragons.
Mhm.
Yeah, but once things got rough, they shapeshifts back to dragons and try to kill us for earnestly.
Maybe we didn't give them a chance.
Here's to hoping.
I think the human had a lot of chances for that one, and she still chose to try and shoot me with a crossbow, so no.
Can I
That
make
one was not a
a
dragon.
Can I make a
Perhaps-
knowledge check on if dragons return to their normal form if they're polymorphed when they die?
Feel free. Oh boy. From what you're aware, the chromatic dragons turn back into their form when they die, while the metallic dragons do not.
If we killed a polymorphed black dragon, it would have returned to its normal form when we slayed it.
Hmm.
So anything
Well-
that stayed human after we killed it was human.
If there were 3 kids and we've killed 2 of them and the parent, or if that big one wasn't a parent, then we still have Daddy Dragon to look for. But Ayodi seemed happy, and he's the Dragon Master after all.
It's not whether Iodi's happy. It's whether this contact of his is the one
Well,
that threatened to turn him into a book.
He
Ask
doesn't
him.
seem too afraid to become a book anymore. But yeah, we should definitely ask. But I think he's sleeping now.
Another thing we got to look at is Lelind had the cult in there. What doesn't say Legan or Legano has cults in there too?
Well, they don't know we are the ones to blame for now.
Is Iodi asleep right now?
I don't know how late it is. I was mostly just messing with the cauldron, working on potions for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Iodi's he's probably cooking up something over in the meth lab.
I would also like to do another nature check and see if I can see if the trees around us would be good to repair the boat, and also to see if I could get Iodi's help to at least tap a tree and drain some of the sap to at least patch some of the bottom of the boat.
Feel free, sir. Give me a nature check.
For tomorrow.
Ooh.
Since, it takes a while for sap.
Yeah, the trees being full of wasp nests probably aren't. That wood's probably not going to be good for anything you want to do with it. But the sap, you're pretty certain you can at least get to Langon with it if you start tapping it now. You're the only one that's going to be able to do that more or less safely. But yeah, the pram's definitely taken a beating from the acid around the Black Dragon's lair. So if the two of you can probably with that sap at least get you guys up to where you want to go with to Langon, or maybe Lacanau, but Lacanau's that's that's dodgy. Langon's a lot closer.
Then I'll go over to Iodi and see if he could help me tap a tree. If he has any tools he can craft to help drain it into a bucket.
I do not have any tools to do that with.
Dagger?
Yodi does not carry a dagger, Fox.
I have a dagger, you can have mine.
I have a dagger. I have an axe. I got a crowbar.
Well, then we will carefully tap a tree with a dagger and put a bucket under it.
Here you go.
Yodi, heard you talking about the dragons. Do not forget that we slayed a zombie dragon not far from here as well. Could be the third that we were looking for.
That's true. That was a black dragon, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yes.
Hmm.
And if not, well, we are keeping watch anyway, and if an angry, smaller black dragon comes, we'll have to deal with it.
Would you want Iodi to do a crafting check, see if he could do that without upsetting any hornets?
If you want Iodi to go out into the hornet's nests, well, that could be interesting for sure. Iodi can definitely fix up the boat or the pram, so you get where you get to Langon. On that, he's utterly convinced. He only needs a bit of that sap as an ingredient to fix it up.
Yodi is not concerned with the bugs, Fox. Let us just get the sap and do what we must. And I will do the thing.
Very nice. Yeah, the boat's going to be ready to go by tomorrow for sure.
Cool. And I will busy myself fixing the boat until it's time to go to sleep, because I am not taking watch.
Can I see the stars from the swamp?
Yeah. There's not a lot of what little trees there are around here. Don't really have much in the way of foliage, so you can definitely see the stars. Definitely, good buddy.
All right, I'll be doing some stargazing too.
Okay. Give us a stargazing roll. It's looking up at the night sky as an astrologer is it's not enjoyable currently. There's a lot more shooting stars than there should be. Like there's something going on in the heavens, and you have no idea what.
More than okay. I take it there was hardly shooting stars when I were back up at the city, up at the tower.
Yeah, and in addition, you can see after you've been doing this for a couple of nights now, and it looks like some of the astrological signs that are representative of different deities are either fading or getting stronger, and it changes night by night. In addition, you can see the start of new astrological signs that you've never seen before. You don't even know what to call these things. They haven't been classified.
I'll take out my little carbon stick and start scribing what I can see of the new patterns.
Gotcha. So, anybody else want to have any discussions or talks before you go to bed?
Zara's go ahead.
Just a general warning. Remember the last visit we had on that particular... before we entered this swamp area, there was some kind of demi-being that tried to enter that tower. So stay on alert.
We always do when we're on watch. Which is also why I have a way too big mug of Hexpresso. About 4 times the size of, a normal Hexpresso shot.
On my downtime, Shoggoth, the amulet that the Grand Master gave me, I'm going to start looking at that.
Ah. You definitely look at that, and I am going to have to check some old notes to actually tell you what you can find.
Well,
we'll get back to that.
The Grand Master said he'd be telling me what it is when he had a chance, and after that, we haven't been there.
There we are. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that amulet because I've misplaced the notebook that's in right now.
No problem, sir.
Sorry about that. And I believe Zara was next.
Yeah, Zara's gonna go off away from the party a bit and enter a meditative pose. But instead of one of her amulets, she is going to think really hard at the connection in her head.
Mm.
And she is going to try to reach out to Italda da Sum.
You're gonna have to help me out here. To
The Dawn Lord,
yes, there we are.
Estrella's husband.
We very rarely use his actual name. Thank you. So she reaches out. She can feel great heat emanating, and a slightly bemused feeling for. She finds herself just in darkness. Italda soon steps out from the darkness in front of her, dressed in just very modest red robes, the sort any street merchant would be wearing, but with a big smile on his face. Not many dare call upon me, but I find this amusing enough to not incinerate you. What is it that you want?
Well, I feel that you've had a great deal of entertainment from this bargain, and I would like to call upon a favor.
Would you indeed? Well, I will entertain this notion.
We're about to kill everything moving between Langon and La Rochette, and I was wondering if you happen to have any information on what is moving in this region.
How quaint. This is a very nice little departure from the usual tedium of running my domain. Well, seeing as one of my favorite wives is traveling with you, I will help you. Why not? Seems like a fun thing to do. Your assumption that they are using Langon as a staging point is correct. If you manage to reach there within the next, say, 36 hours, they will just have sent off one wave of attackers and be waiting for the next. It'll be held by a smaller force, a white commanding it, some former hero of Golden Glens of no real impressive stature, and some undead who calls himself an archmage who's dabbled in the mystic arts at the very best, in addition to some of their creations. Once you get onto the lake itself, you will want a proper seaworthy ship. That lake will be 2, maybe 3 days of sailing winds depending. There are a lot of the foe on that lake in the ships of these, what you call them, pirates, trying to blockade La Rochette itself. But there are powers in that lake who are none too amused by undead upon it. So a lot of them are being sunk. Once you get to La Rochette itself, that is where your main trouble is going to be. You will need to break through the cordon, trying to blockade it. And when you get into La Rochette, there is an entity there. It's hidden even from my sight. La Rochette thinks it is safe, but as long as that entity is inside La Rochette, the city will fall. No question about it. Whatever manages to hide even from my eyes is bound to be powerful enough to be a lethal challenge for you and your friends. Any
I
more questions
appreciate the
before I leave?
information, Dom Lord. I think that is as far as I can call upon our agreement for now. Enjoy witnessing your antics on your wife's entertainment.
Oh, believe me, it is a huge hit in my castle. I will tell you, people travel from all of Thebes to watch your antics. But once you know more about this old god that you have found the amulet of, if you will trade me that information, I will make certain to make it worth your while.
As I learn more, I shall consider it. Although I'm not certain how many secrets I can keep from you on account of, you seeing all I see.
Consider it an act of good faith. Oh, also, should you fancy yourselves a little trip on the side, there is an ancient temple of the Cyclopes, just a day's travel to the west of Langon. Could be some interesting trinkets lying around there. But, as you know, the Cyclopes, they are no joke to fight. That one eye of theirs, they always seem to strike through. So, should you go, be very careful. Then he turns and, what is that? Oh, the mulled wine is served. Thank you, Lady Alpendew, for the chat. Now I must return to my party. He gives her a little bow and walks away into the darkness.
Zara's going to return the bow and also walk off into the darkness back towards the party.
Yep. She finds herself back in reality with steam from the moisture around just billowing off of her. She's incredibly warm for a moment before she starts to cool down.
I'll head back into the camp.
All right.
Well, I've communed with let's call them local spirits. As we suspected, Langon is being used as a staging point for the foes attacking La Rochette. We have perhaps 36 hours before reinforcements arrive to Langon. They've recently sent out an attack force to La Rochette, so it'd be lightly manned. There's a white dragon there, as well as a former hero and a mage. Those will be the commanding forces at Langon. And there's a temple of some interest to me to the west of Langon that I would like to explore.
All right. How long will it take us to get to Langon then?
I'll look over at Ed.
And I will consult the higher power of my knowledge. How long would it take with my show the way to get to Lagun?
You're about 8 hours out from Langon.
About 8 hours.
Then we should be able to do so. But first we need a good night's rest and we need to get stronger, all of us. So those of you who are not on watch should definitely hit the hay.
And I assume you're all hitting the hay.
Magnus is just going to say a short prayer to his goddess before he goes to sleep. Marisol, can you... Who's on Mythwatch? Never mind. Just someone wake me up for the last watch.
I'm
Will
sure
do.
Medora will take care of that, or Preacher.
Preacher
Thank you
and I can
kindly.
take most of the watch after the first, after we both get our beauty power.
I'll go to bed as soon as Preacher and or Sarah comes and sleep like a baby.
My morning training, instead of the glaive, I'm going to start training with the sword.
Right. It feels familiar in your hands, being an elven weapon. Something almost instinctual about how you, with your more slender build than a human or a dwarf, can move and use that with a lot more grace than you would have assumed. It feels strange for Mador using a weapon that's designed more for speed and precision than the heavy cleaving strikes of a glaive. Although a glaive is also a very fast and nimble weapon, this is in another dimension altogether. It's like comparing a great club to a rapier. But you, being a very experienced warrior, Mador is very quickly picking up how to use this weapon effectively.
It's going to be almost like a meditation style training, I guess you can say. Nothing around, focusing everything.
Yeah, you suspect actually that training with Preacher would probably help you utilize this weapon to even greater effect, as his flowing style of combat is a lot closer to how you want to fight with this thing than you're used to doing in a knight's heavy armor. This is more like dancing than the usual military routine and strikes.
When I get a chance, I will chat with Preacher, but we have bigger stuff on our plate right now.
I'm just going to assume that you've been treating wounds and all that while you're resting, so I'm going to remove the dying and just put you on full hit points, since there's nothing to indicate that any of you should be injured having medical treatment throughout the night. Yeah, morning comes around, so I'm guessing Marisol or one of the other people without dark vision is the one that gets the morning watch.
I have dark vision. I have dark vision goggles. So I took the first one.
Okay. Well, whoever is on morning watch gets to decide what they're making for breakfast. And I'm assuming at least Preacher and Medora are up by that point, not needing a lot of sleep.
Yep, cooking is really Preacher's forte, so it's gonna be gruel.
Zara's going to help because she's also an excellent cook, and she's adding vegetables to the gruel.
Well, You get something that looks like it would have been served in a 1960s mess hall in Camp Lejeune with some added vegetables. It's edible and it's warm, and it's got some nice crunch from the vegetables. But that's pretty much all the good things that can be said about it.
Success.
Magnus
They should be thankful
size.
to wake up to such a delicacy.
Magnus size, and just make sure that there's fresh espresso.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Marisol is particularly chipper this morning.
Double espresso, Marisol.
Yes, please.
Yodi is ladling out elixirs of life at the moment. That'll be one for Preacher, Magnus, Mador, and Zara.
Thank you.
And these are moderates.
These
Lesser.
are lessers. Yeah, I don't have the recipe for the moderate yet. It is not much, but we may need these sooner rather than later.
Indeed.
Every little helps.
All is better than nothing.
I head on down to the barge and start thinking out a good way to haul it up and turn it over so we can caulk it.
Yeah, well, you're an engineer, if I remember correctly. So you find a beautiful, very over-engineered solution to a simple problem, but you do solve it.
Thank you. Using shackles from my climbing gear, devise a rig to help lift it and then turn it over while hanging in there.
Yep, you've basically made a little repair wharf out of the available stuff you have around. Anybody traveling by here are going to be both surprised, delighted to find it, and also confused why anybody would put it in the middle of a copse of murder wasp trees.
Bait. Here we go, Yodi.
Ah, yes. Do you want another crafting roll for me to actually fix this thing?
Nah, you rolled critical success yesterday, so it's Yodi's got everything ready. He just kind of needs to sap it up and use some of his cantrips to just dry that sap real quick. And it takes less than half an hour until that boat. It's definitely going to get you to Langan. It might actually be in better shape now than it was when you got it.
Yodi has done what he can. The boat will take us at least as far as Langon.
Perfect.
Outstanding.
My intelligence tells me that we're going to need an actual ship to sail across the Lake of Gramont. It's got pirates and things that don't like things sailing on top of it out there.
Then we should definitely get a ship in Langon. Crack the Chevalier is under siege.
Wait, are we actually planning on sailing across the Lake of Gramont?
Yeah, we need to get to La Rochette. That's our mission.
Yeah, but I thought we were just gonna, like go around. There's scary things in that water,
But what's the time difference?
And they are sailing shit across it all the time.
Yeah, but we're also going to somewhere that's, being under siege, which also might be being under siege by ships that have, like, cannons and stuff.
What's cannons?
You actually know very well what cannons is, being a gunslinger. You just don't think any of them are here.
Look, cannons doesn't exist here. This is a lake. Seafaring ships might have them, but seriously though, a lake with cannons.
I think you misunderstand how big this lake is, though.
It's gonna take us about 3 days to sail across it.
Either way, we need to get to Langon in order to get to the last place we can actually go anywhere else. So, I mean, the river we aren't leaving is leading there.
And Langon is the next place we need to stop, so we need to get there first.
Then let us go.
Yep. We pack up.
Come on, Bill.
I point the way to Lagan.
Right. Yeah, you get on the riverboat, or the pram, work your way up towards Langon easily enough. What are you going to do once you start closing on it? Do you plan on just pramming your asses in, or are you planning on doing any scouting?
Might be wise to have a look around.
With Estrella gone, Zara will scout ahead.
I will also, but I'll scout from the water. I'll ride on the back of Isoy and he'll swim.
Very well. Ooh, some amazing stealth rolls here. Give me just a... You're just finding some pictures for y'all.
And just a reminder, Zara has all of those same shenanigan feats that Estrella has. So she sneaks at full speed and automatically foil senses.
Gotcha. I have finally figured out how to move these images so that they don't double size themselves. It was easy enough that I feel stupid as balls not having figured it out earlier, but that's just life, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna put the two of you on the map, and I'm also gonna put Eodi on the map just so the stream can see what's happening as you're sneaking in from different points. Whoop. Come on. There we are. Doesn't want me to move you guys through walls or past walls. And Eodi, of course. Eodi's gonna just be put somewhere around here. So sneaking up, the first thing you guys see, which causes your heart to flutter, is sitting on the boat is the enormous dragon that you killed. But as you look closer, it seems it's got another dragon's head sewn on, and there's a huge cloud of flies buzzing around the now rotting corpse. Next to the dragon sitting on the ship, there is definitely one of the stronger types of undead spellcaster. Seems to be commanding just regular zombies and skeletons around as they're loading the ship with what seems to be arrows for ballista and huge rocks for siege engines. See, the Lich doesn't want to load there for Tulmar. That's interesting. Prowling the streets, you also have some more powerful undead, some really nasty looking wraiths. You can see one on each side of the canal. Langon seems to be just a village built on two sides of a river. The rest of the city is just deserted, or not city, village. Empty houses. Even the undead aren't patrolling it currently. This is the only part of it that's really of any interest to you, because it's got both enemies and the ship you're looking for, obviously, which seems to be a smaller merchant ship. Still 3 decks and 2 masts. And boy, is Marisol gonna feel stupid, because you can see one row of cannons on the side of it that's facing you. And of course, they seem to have themselves a big old boss there as well that's moving around, commanding even the undead spellcaster around. He's dressed in some sort of blackish armor. You can see as he walks around, the flies around the dragon fall down, and pretty much anything living withers and shies away from him when it gets within roughly 10 feet of it. So from the look of it, you're going to be able to infiltrate and plan your attack from pretty much any direction.
I assume I'm not actually floating there, right? That's just to give me vision of the map.
That is entirely correct, good sir.
I kind of figured, but you never can tell.
Just goes to show you never can tell. While you guys are thinking, I'm going to go get myself a drink real quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
So I'm suspecting that we should definitely approach from that southwest quadrant so that we're on the same side of the river as the Lich, the Dragon, the White Commander. We might want to split up into a southern group and a northern group so that we don't all eat, AoE spells from the Lich and the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because that Lich is definitely going to have some spells that are going to be mean.
But we just killed this dragon.
I think I'm more worried about the Lich and the Dread Race, personally.
Yeah, the last zombie dragon wasn't too frightening.
Speak for yourself. You didn't almost get 8.
That was an actual dragon, not a zombie dragon. That's very different.
He said this is the same dragon, just with a different head.
And rotting, and a lot of flies buzzing around it.
Severely dissected.
Yeah, they've bolted on a lot of parts to get that thing working. It's a Walmart dragon for sure. From the discount aisle.
The dragon from Wish. Got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kill the dragon and it comes back to life stronger, and then sometimes you kill the dragon and it comes back as a puppet.
I turn to Yodi. This time, I think it's okay to disintegrate it, right?
That is a thing that Yodi will certainly consider.
So Zara, at the very least, would like to be in the top center area.
I'm going to place the rest of the tokens now so that you guys can sort of plan, but they'll be placed around Zara and We place around Zara and Ed, so that's the lines of sight you have to plan with.
Yeah, so we're approaching from the south because that's where we were approaching from on the world map.
Yep.
We definitely want to be down in the southwest quadrant. Where's my Sharpie?
So what you're saying is you want to be down in this quadrant here. If I'm trying to Sharpie things for you.
Yeah.
Before anybody goes over there, I'm actually gonna whisper to my necklace, and it's gonna start flying over there.
And what ability are you using there?
Oh, my necklace is actually a familiar.
Oh, well, what do you
and
know?
I have a enhanced familiar now.
So it's going to be scouting for you. Is that what you're thinking?
It's going to scout, and 1 second. I'm gonna use my share senses, so I actually see everything it sees.
Right. Give us a perception roll then. I'll just move you over there so you can get a good look.
It is a tiny rock.
Flying rock.
It is my pet rock.
Oh my. Are you going to plant chia seeds on it? Right. Give us that perception roll, please. You can't really see anything. There's nothing awry as such. You can't see anything sneaking a boot, making trouble there. Looks to be deserted. There's one zombified horse standing, eating from an empty trough, but that thing doesn't seem like it's going to be much of a threat.
In that case, then I'll bring the rock back and let everybody know that's around me that it's safe to stage over there.
Right. So the ones of you in the top... right, do you want to stage with the rest, or do you want to come in through Sarah's route?
First, a question to the team. Are we planning to lead with some big spells before we actually run in those of us who have to fight close up?
Iodi will attempt to do this.
In that case, I will try and hold until you manage to get a spell off.
Well, it depends on whether we are attempting to bring this boat in one piece. It looks rather flammable to Iodi.
True.
Well, it has cannons, so I'll have to eat my words, and it looks pretty cool.
I don't know how flammable it would be, but we might be able to commandeer it if we can, save some of it.
Pull out priority targets. What do we want to go for first?
The Lich will prove to be a powerful enemy.
I want to stay as far away from that dragon as possible.
Yep. And the Lich and the Dragon is on the aft deck of that boat. I can go there, I can reach it, but it's going to be a short fight if I'm only one up there.
I can join you on the boat. I can nearly keep up with you.
Yeah. Question is, do we start on the upper right and then run across the water, leap across the water?
Or we can start along the smaller canal north of
Yeah.
to the north. We
Yep.
wait for Marisol and the rest of the other group to opening salvo, get the attention of the foes, and then jump on the boat to deal with the Lich, who I doubt will press forward.
Is there any way here that gives me an overview from a roof or something, a good sniping position?
Yes, there is. You could get up on the roof of the storehouse that Iodi is next to. In which case I'll place you here where you are now, but we know that you're actually I'll make a little M.
Yeah.
I am an artist. That is where Marisol actually is, on the roof.
I can't see your M.
No, because you don't have line of sight to it. oh my. I'll make a little arrow. Drawing mode, please. There we are.
Ah, there. Okay.
She's in the square the arrow is pointing to.
So right next to that box there, just on the roof,
Yes.
sitting hunched down, sniping, or stuff like that. Yeah, super.
Yeah. So if I put you in that square, you're not going to have vision to anything.
No.
Right. That leaves Magnus. I have no idea where he wants to be.
Well, Magnus won't be able to move as fast as Zara and Preacher. So, I guess he's going to try and get slightly north of Eodi and Marisol.
If he wants to push any further up from Eodi, he could risk being spotted before you can start your plan.
You just shuffle Esoy and me back and put him in my spot.
That can be done.
I mostly just put myself there so that the stream could see the map still and all that.
Yeah, so Magnus can get up crouching behind that box. That's as far as he feels safe to move without the potential of getting spotted.
Yep, we don't want to blow things before it kicks off. So, yep, that's good.
Right, so you guys are in position. Just tell me what the plan is and who's supposed to kick it off.
Is Mador placed?
Medora, I believe, is down in the south, if that is where he wants to be.
Yodi, do you want to do some dual chain lightnings?
I do believe that this is how we say hello.
I wouldn't be able to keep up with Preacher or Zara, so I'll stay south of the rest of the group.
Gotcha. Okay, so from my understanding, you are planning to start the ball off with some serious chain lightninging.
Yes.
It only looks like we'll be able to hit the guy on the left, the dragon, and then the dude right by the dragon.
I think this is acceptable. So from the glorious cover that is Magnus himself, Eodi kind of pokes his head out, and I'm going to whip the chain lightning at the Dreadwraith on the left, bouncing onto the zombie and the Lich.
Gotcha. What is the save on that now?
I think it's 31.
You did
It
level.
is 31, yeah.
It is 31, okay. So it's not 32 from the level. Okay. The Wraith actually saves against Eodi's chain lightning. I believe it doesn't bounce, but that is a hit.
Is it a critical save?
No, it is not.
It only doesn't bounce if it's a critical.
Gotcha. Thank you. So And you may as well roll your chain lightning damage as well there, Mr. Edamir. We get that done. Okay. Oh, wow. That's gonna hurt. Oh boy. Rolling some saves. Oh, they they kind of saw Yodi's chain lightning coming, but except for the Lich. But Edamir's chain lightning coming straight after it takes them all by surprise, as they're already kind of zipping from the hit there. So let's see. And the Dread Wraith is definitely injured. You think. It's kind of hard to see with Wraiths, but it's flickering a bit more than it was a moment ago. The zombie dragon has taken both of those hits straight to the face. And is definitely not in fantastic shape. Still hard to say with a zombie dragon, but a lot of its flesh has fallen off. And that Lich as well. Definitely didn't see this coming and has been hit full in the chest by both of those. So this is your ambush turn. So everybody gets a free action or a free turn before we go to initiatives. Do you want to do it in initiative order, or some of you going to wait for what somebody else does?
Yeah, the only thing I waited for is the lightning, then I want to act.
Okay, in that case, I'm just going to do you by initiative. Edamir and Yodi have started the ball off with their chain lightning, so they have acted on the surprise turn, meaning it's Preacher with his initiative of 40 this turn for this fight.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm impressed as well.
In that case, I am going to go zipping here.
Right, that is going to be a DC 25 acrobatics to clear the high stack of crates to land where you want to be.
Can
Or
I do
athletics.
that with athletics? Thank you. Also, I have the powerful leap now, so I should be able to take a. Ooh, yeah. Well, still.
Oh yeah, the Preacher just barely, with half an inch, clears those crates. Takes off the top layer of dust and grime as his heels go over it, but lands next to the Lich.
And I should, even after that sprint, have one action left. So I'll pitch him with a kick. Unimpressive.
That is definitely they probably weren't expecting to get double chain lightning in the morning. The Lich, however, after having been hit by a lot of lightning, sees the kick coming and just presents a couple of ribs that aren't very important. That Preacher's foot just shatters, but it doesn't seem to do any actual damage.
I'll take my
reaction. Oh, right. I was about to say he's got cover from the dragon, but you don't really care, do you?
Plus 22. I should have been there, but it didn't.
That's a 32. That's a hit.
Wow.
17. And a greeting to Preacher.
Yeah, shot pinks off of the Lich's skull. Seems slightly to not do as much as you were hoping it would. But there's a small hairline fracture from where it was shot. Okay, so that was Preacher. Next one up, surprisingly enough, is Magnus.
Well, Magnus is going to creep up to towards that box.
Yeah, they may not have spotted you yet, but the moment Magnus moves out into the open, they know he's there. He's no Estrella when it comes to sneaking.
Yep, fair. And long. Is that the Lich in the front? Yes.
No, that is the white commander closest to him.
In that case, yeah. We'll take aim at the white commander and make a bow shot.
I forgot that Marsal's gun is piercing / bludgeoning, so a bigger piece of skull was knocked off than first anticipated. Let me check this white commander.
Concussive, baby.
Yeah, their shot whizzes up towards the white commander, and he just half a second before it hits manages to get a shield up, and it boinks off of the shield.
Yep, fair. Magnus will just raise his shield for his last action.
Right, so that takes us to Marisol.
Yeah, so I reload.
Yes.
And shoot at the Lich again.
Gotcha. Oh boy. Do you have any bonuses to hit with Preacher being there?
No.
No. So that is not a critical, but it is a hit.
And I reload.
Yeah. This Lich he is not having the best day. Like, the zombies have been moving slow, stacking the crates wrong. The skeletons have gotten into a union and are demanding to be paid more souls. And now he gets double chain lightning, then shot twice in the head before he's even had his morning coffee. I mean, this is not a good day to be a Lich. So that was Marisol's turn, was it?
It was.
And then it's Zara.
Okay. Zara is going to use 2 movements to go here. She has assurance and athletics, so she automatically succeeds the DC 25.
Gotcha. For some reason, Zara, and only Zara, is moving very slow today. Fantasy Grounds.
I might have clicked a button or 15 trying to figure out how to draw things on the map, and it might be angry at me.
I have no idea, to be honest. But Fantasy Grounds is the gift that just keeps on giving. It'll permanently confuse us if we allow it to.
As Zara's running up, she's going to call on her esoteric lore on the Lich.
Oh yeah. Looks to be your bog standard Lich. Some powerful or semi-powerful magic user afraid of dying that's in his quest for eternal life has turned himself into an undead abomination with the usual immunities, death effects, disease, paralyzed, poison, and unconscious. Liches, in addition, are resistant to cold and any physical damage except for magic bludgeoning. They do have a frightful presence, meaning that on their next turn, or on the Lich's turn, Zara and Preacher are going to have to make a will save against fear. And they are good at counterspelling, although they do need to see the spell coming to be able to do that. They can also paralyze people by touch, so Liches are usually no joke, but this thing is reeling from the weight of fire from Marisol and just the sheer amount of lightning that just hit it.
Right. No weaknesses, so he is going to be weak to me 7.
Yep.
And then I'm going to bonk him with a hammer.
He's weak for blue girls with horns, as so many of us are.
Same.
However, he does dodge that hammer, seeing it coming.
And that'll be my turn.
Yeah, that takes us to Mr. Mador.
Alrighty. I'm gonna move diagonal until I can see the white on the front, of the boat.
That would be there. Yep.
Since I think I don't have a clean shot at the lich because the mast is in the way.
Yeah, there's also a huge honking zombie dragon.
So I'm going to shoot the crossbow at the white commander.
Gotcha. Oh boy, that is a hit. He doesn't see that one coming. Yep. Hits him straight in the face. Would have been a kill shot against, something with flesh. But in this case, it just knocks out a few teeth and injures his jaw.
Reload and shoot again.
Yeah, the second one he does see coming and manages to deflect with his shield.
And that's my move.
There we are. That was the surprise turn. And this, just for funsies, I put Estrella in here, and she did manage to get the lowest initiative of the entire party by a factor of 10. So if she had been here, she would have been very slow compared to the rest of you. That takes us over to when they actually start fighting back. But first, it's Preacher's turn.
I kick off by burning a key point, which takes the form of me banging my chest and my fist together once, taking on a positive silvery light. And I start wailing on this leech in earnest.
Gotcha. Right.
Flurry of blows with a combat grab on the second one.
Okay. The first one, the Lich actually manages to deflect with his staff.
Reaction.
Son of a biscuit. That's it. But the second one is a hit and a grab. As another gunshot screams out through the afternoon, and another bullet pings off of the Lich's skull. This thing is definitely not having the time of its life or unlife currently.
Oh, this is a lot of damage coming in now. So first off, rolling this, I have the inner fire, so +3 on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get 2d6 positive damage, and he's gonna get another 9 from our collaboration with my sniper.
Okay, so that's a total of 42 damage, if my maths are correct, and they usually are.
Yes.
He's very, very injured currently, and he's also grabbed, so probably not enjoying things very much.
Second round of attacks.
That is a punch.
That's another 2d6. So 33 another. And the last one is going to be a regular strike. I'll miss that one.
Yeah, no, but the second one is enough. The Preacher punches his now glowing with positive energy fist straight into the Lich's ribcage, disturbing all of its magical energies, and it just blows away in the wind as dust. Preacher can try to capture the spirit in one of his soul containers if he wishes to.
No. I don't know if that's a good thing, so no. Until we figure that out, no.
Gotcha. In that case, the Lich, at the very least, before it even manages to shout out a warning to anybody, is gone, having been felled by the weight of attacks that y'all are pounding into it. I forgot to have Preacher roll for fear, but there's really no reason you should be afraid of this Lich that he just absolutely demolished. So we will just keep on going. The Dread Wraith screams out. And first of all, it's gonna fly over here Whoop, it can manage to get there without provoking any attacks of opportunity. It's a huge wraith as well, size of an ogre. And that is a DC 26 Fortitude for Preacher and Zara. Yeah, none of you care about the fact that it's got a very cold, unpleasant aura of death around it. It is, however, going to try to inappropriately touch. It's going for the one with the most spirit energy, so that is definitely Preacher. As it reaches its hand out, and Preacher just barely dodges back, avoiding getting hit, and it's going to try that again. I'm going to move it back one, by the way. This thing has reach, so there's no reason it would move right up to you. On the second one, that is actually a hit on Preacher. That is 23 negative energy damage and a DC 28 Fortitude save. Ooh, and Preacher does feel the draining touch of the Wraith as he's now drained one. It pulls life energy and just energy in general out of him. And that was the Wraith's turn. It is now Mr. Magnus.
Okay. Okay, Magnus is... Yeah, Magnus is going to make another attempt at striking the commander. With the bow shot.
That is a hit. It again, you managed to hit him in the head. Pinks off of his cheekbone, leaving a little fracture line there.
Something's better than nothing.
And was that Magnus's entire turn?
Nope, that was one go. We're going to take another shot at the dragon this time.
Very well. You managed to hit like the one spot nobody bothered to skin because the scales were so damaged, and the arrow bounces off.
Fair enough. Magnus raises his shield again.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. It is Edemir's turn.
I will move up to there.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to do that manually. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. Don't be a dick. Was it roughly here you wanted to be?
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to let go of your token, but Fantasy Grounds is being a dick about it. Okay, so Edemir and Isoi are sprinting up.
And that'll be it for me.
Gotcha. That takes us to Madame Marisol,
All right.
Mistress of Firearms.
So I need to start by reloading. And this time when I reload, I'll pull a card, any card. That's a number 4. So that's an explosive shot.
Ooh.
And I'll shoot the dragon.
Shooting the dragon. Dooba shooting the dragon. I'm gonna assume that's a hit, but let's double check that. Yep. Zombies are known for a lot of things, but not for their proficiency in defense. So that is a hit, but not a crit.
Yeah, I just need to look up what the explosive shot does.
Huh, can't find it. I'll let you check that.
Sorry, I normally have it up, but I managed to close that tab. This piece of ammunition is coated in gritted black soot. When activated, explosive ammunition hits a target, the missile explodes in a 10-foot burst, dealing 66 fire damage to each creature in the area. That's basically the dragon then, since it's a bigger than 10 foot. Right?
Indeed. Well, that's a fair amount of meat blown off of that zombie dragon, but it's not going down for nothing.
Nope. And then I reload, and it's the end of my turn.
Right. Woo! The other Dread Wraith is also being super spooky. Flies up to towards Sarah. That's going to be a DC 26 Fortitude save. Nope, you're immune to draining presence, actually, after having the first one. But it is going to try to touch her and pull out some of her will to live, and it does that. So that's 19 negative energy damage and a DC 28 Fortitude. Oh boy.
As a reaction, I am going to activate my Grim Ring. I'm going to reduce the drained by 1 and deal 2d6 positive energy damage to the Wraith.
Okay. Roll your damage. So yeah, the Wraith, you're actually not drained after that. And the Wraith takes a little bit of damage and completely flubs the second attack, actually smacking the other Wraith. So that it's a thing I never thought I'd say about Wraiths, but it's going to be flat-footed until its next turn. Speaking of flat-footed, it is Eodi's turn.
Okay. I'm going to use a focus point and turn my little winglets into wings of the dragon for 1 minute, giving myself a 60-foot fly speed.
Ooh.
I'm going to fly to there over the water.
Yeah, Eodi is now flapping off with huge brass wings.
And then, with my remaining actions, I am going to do another chain lightning at the zombie dragon in the race over there.
Oh boy. That is double damage against the zombie dragon. So that'd be 16d12 against the zombie dragon. Oh boy. Yeah, Yodi just puts the printer to kill and fires it at the zombie dragon, and it just explodes in a spatter of meat and bone. If anybody's planning to make a zombie dragon out of this thing, they're gonna have to do a puzzle first, as he just completely detonates it with his chain lightning. Anything else, sir?
That's all I can do. That's all my actions.
Very well. It is now Zara's turn.
Well, I was considering using some of these items I picked up, but suddenly there's not much need. Zara will make a duplicate of herself here.
Ookily dookily. Boink.
Chug, 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 chug.
Yes. The molasses processor is struggling with fancy grounds today.
Zara is then going to do an esoteric lore on the Dread Wraith.
Dread Wraiths, indeed. The most powerful of wraiths, usually the spiritual remnants of warlords, generals, other powerful and revered people who have been particularly nasty in life and brought back by necromancy. They are fast flyers with the usual undead immunities: death effects, disease, poison, paralyzed, precision, unconscious. And they are resistant to pretty much everything except for force damage, ghost touch, or positive damage. They've got an aura that drains people around them. They are powerless in sunlight. And can actually absorb other wraiths to both damage people in the area and heal themselves and make themselves more powerful. They drain life when they hit people, as Sarah's already noticed, and anybody killed by one will rise as a wraith spawn very quickly, within seconds after dying.
Neat. Well, this one's now weak to me because I got a ghost touch rune.
Everybody
got this
loves them
neat
blue
thing.
girls.
And I got this neat thing where if there's multiple creatures of the same type, they're all now weak to me.
Ooh,
So I don't have to make individual rolls for each creature type.
shiny.
Then it's Waymo time.
The Wammening, as it's said in Germany. That is a hit.
And then an extra +7 for the weakness.
So a total of 43. That rate is it shimmers pretty badly when Zara hits it. It probably can take a lot more hits before it dissipates. But she does not manage to get it on the second try.
And that'll be Zara's turn.
That thing is definitely struggling to keep its strength going. Right, this thing, first of all, Shoggoth needs to roll an athletics check or an acrobatics check. So the white up in the northwest jumps after Preacher, slams straight into the crates, and is now prone in that square. Preacher, would you roll me a 3d6 damage roll, please?
Absolutely.
As it also takes 11 damage from that stunt there. That was that guy's turn. It's now Mador.
Okay, I'm gonna run up, loading. So that'll be 2 moves, and then I'll shoot on at the end of the second move.
Right.
So what, 50 feet, I think, 25 I got.
50, yeah, for 2 moves. That is 30, and you have 20 more movement from there.
And I'll shoot at the white again.
Gotcha. He really wasn't on the ball today. That's a hit. Mador just keeps pumping bolts into him. Smacks off at a piece of skull where the ear should have been.
And now the glaive is in my hand.
Oakley dokley. Speaking of white, it is the white's turn. The white strongly dislikes pretty much all of the situations it's in right now. However, it's going to move towards the closest target. It's going to move up and attack Zara, swinging its longsword at her with a fair degree of skill, managing to hit her for 27 damage and a DC 29 fortitude save. Oh, Zara is not drained.
What was the damage on that?
27. 27 slashing if you have any resistances. Right, that takes us to the other whites. It's
That illusion of Zara explodes.
oh, fun.
I just got to pull up the damage real quick because I can't remember. Two plus half my level. So
8 damage. Yeah.
and she's no longer standing there because the illusion exploded.
Does it say anything about what kind of damage this is?
Slashing damage.
Oakley dokley.
And
Well,
it also hits the wraith.
yep. Wraith don't seem to care much. Let's see. Acrobatics rolls. These things are actually super acrobatic. Not that it's helping them. The other whites coming in from the east sprints up, jumps in a beautiful arch towards the ship, and then slams its head into the beam holding the sail and disappears down into the water. Son of a biscuit. And it is now a preacher's turn.
Good lord. They need to go to like school for sure. I'm not liking stepping in front of that to reach the commander, so I'm just gonna step in and try and get in reach of that.
Dread Wraith.
thing there. Yes.
Yep.
So I have the ghost touch, so I'm not gonna bother with another positive energy at the moment.
How shocking that a party specialized in fighting undead has a lot of ghost touch.
Yep. So we'll start out with the blurry and the combat grab, and see if I can grab hold of this guy for a helping hand to anybody else who wants to hit the same thing. Nudge, nudge. Second is a combat grab.
Oh boy. First one's a critical. Second's a hit.
Okay.
Then I will take a reaction once he quits.
Okay.
That is the damage, and do note that the electricity is arcing to the nearby targets.
Right.
Anything?
Yep. Anything hit by electricity. How much damage is that?
That's gonna be. Let me see. This is not something I've checked in a while. Yeah.
So, Marisol's shot just goes through empty air as Preacher strikes that rate straight in the spirit balls, and it just dissipates instantly.
Within 10 feet of the target.
Okay, so
It's gonna
that'll
be
be both of
the
them.
2d6. Actually, it's going to be the 2d6 at the end of my roll there, so 12 to each.
12 to each. Oh, the other dread rate seems slightly affected by it, but the poor white commander is he's not he's having a day as well. First, his spellcaster gets blowed up, and Oh, he's being peppered with fire from everywhere and electricity. It's just that sort of day for him. And I
That was
believe
my
Preacher has one more action, does he not?
Yes, I think so. I'll just go in here.
Very well.
Hello.
That brings us to Magnus.
Okay. Magnus is going to move 25 just in front of Mador. And then he's going to apply Bless.
Ooh.
So that's a 5-foot emanation, giving a +1 to all attacks, rolls, etc., within 5 foot.
Nice. So, Magnus and Mador are blessed. Hashtag blessed. Moisturized, relaxed, in the zone, or whatever they say.
That is also my turn.
Very well. It is now Edamir.
I will move to there.
Gets up behind some bags of seems to be firearm ammunition, actually, of the type that Marisol uses. Several huge bags of it.
And I will cast Disrupt Undead on the commander.
Right.
That is a Fortitude save.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, fantasy grounds. Why are you having yourself a stroke? Fortitude, DC 31.
Yes.
That is a success. He seems resistant to whatever shenanigans you're doing.
So half in any positive damage extra he takes.
Yep. Does not seem to be particularly weak to positive energy.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. In that case, it's the Hilltop Sniper. It's Marisol.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot at the thing standing in front of Peter after a reload because I shot something in the meantime.
Right. You were shooting the what now again?
The thing in front of Peter.
Okay. Are you getting any bonuses to hit from him being there? Well,
no.
In that case, it actually pings off of his gorget. Almost hit him in the spine, but it pings off his rear armor.
Then Peter can react.
Oh boy. The two of you are becoming quite the dream team, aren't you?
Thank you.
Preacher, however, manages a critical.
So the guy stumbles.
And Preacher uppercuts him for a lot of damage. Yeah, that's one way of doing it, I guess. What else is Marisol doing?
She's just reloading after that shot.
Gotcha. That takes us to the other rate. It is going to focus its attacks on Zara, trying to eat her soul. First one is a miss. Second one is a miss. It's just kind of grasping futilely at Zara, and she is blocking every hand with her hammer. Which brings us to Yodi, Eater of Sheep.
Oh, wee. I will fly over to here and land on the deck. And then I will do a 2-action. Well, no, I can only hit one target like that. I will do a chromatic ray at the white in front of me.
Gotcha. Simply do that. That is a hit, sir.
That would be a poison ray for 25 poison damage and a fortitude save or enfeebled.
Right. What's the fortitude save?
I'm going to assume it's my DC because it's not listed here.
Fair enough. He is. He takes no damage from poison, not having any organs to actually poison, but he is enfeebled.
Okay, that is my turn.
Doom. Bad luck with that one. There we are. It is now Zara, Miss Alpendew herself.
In a burst of energy, Zara is going to extend her wings. She's going to take a 5-foot step here. Create a mirror duplicate of herself behind him, and swing her hammer.
Okay, can Zara stand on water?
She's got wings and is flying.
Ah, yes, there we are. Well, in that case, that's a critical.
Plus 14.
Yep, this white is now straight up not having a great time. Any more actions from Zara?
Nope, that was all 4 of them.
Well, the white flies down into the water. And Zara does get an attack of opportunity. And that, however, is a miss.
It's plus 2 because of flanking.
Yeah, still a miss. Still counts now. Actually, I'm wrong. That's it with the plus 2 from flanking. So roll your damage. Zara sends it off with a powerful smack to the butt, giving that white some extra speed down into the water. And it is Mador's turn.
Question: is this dock below the level of the road, even with the road?
It's even with the road, yeah.
Okay. Gonna run up and try to do a running jump over to run up like first 25, then do a running jump onto the boat.
Gotcha. Okay. Give us a. It's not a particularly difficult jump. Give us a DC 18 athletics there.
Like I said, gonna try.
Yeah. Yeah, even in heavy plate armor, Mador manages to fly over and land heavily on that deck. Boom. Looking like as badass as a dark elf in full plate can look, which is pretty damn badass.
And I think I got one more movement left, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Getting up to the Hunter White.
Gotcha. So that'd be up there then.
I don't think I get across these drums, so I'll get where I can.
Yeah, it's no difficulty for Mador to get up onto them. They're very heavy and very stable to run on. Except for one of them, which wobbles a little bit.
My move.
That's your move. Mador looks like a properly dressed dark elf instead of running around in combat and wearing a bathing suit, like some in a game. We won't mention the name, but it rhymes with Schmoonicorn Boverlord, which is otherwise a fantastic game. The white is going to fight back against Preacher. He's going to fight the powers that be. That is 1 hit. So it's a DC 29 Fortitude from Preacher and 20 slashing damage. Preacher cares not for your feeble, life-draining attempts. It is, however, going to swing its longsword at him again. This white knows how to fight. This white was definitely a powerful fighter in its day, because it manages to land another hit for 22 slashing damage and another DC 28 or 29 fortitudes. That is a fail, so Preacher is drained 1. And yes, actually drained 2 now. And on his with his last action, he is going to raise shield. The Prowler White spends 1 turn getting up, and then it charges Mador, who gets an attack of opportunity with his glaive. It's a critical. Oh boy. Mador smacks that thing, but good as it comes in. But it does try to feint him out and stab him with its dagger. Which Mador cares not about one whiff, as the dagger just pings off of his breastplate. And it's not Preacher. He's feeling a bit drained. Like he's been out partying for a couple of hours last night. Got too little sleep.
I'm getting worried about the inhabitants in my chest, but I'm gonna wait it out with this guy. Since he obviously is not going down yet, I'll burn another key point and do a round of attacks for a flurry of blows with a combat grab.
Hoo-ah! Oh boy, that is a hit and another hit.
So we'll do the first one and add on positive damage plus 3 for my aura.
Mm-hmm.
And damage from the second attack is here.
Yeah, you are beating the stuffing out of this commander.
Probably missing that one.
That one is a miss.
Last
Reaction.
attack. God. Go.
That's a hit. No, actually it's not. He's got a shield up. So that's a miss. Poink. He's flat-footed, so it's a hit still. Doesn't help that he had his shield up before he got grabbed. Pachong! Yeah, he's getting shot in the head repeatedly and punched. And it's just not... This is not a live, love, laugh day for him.
Last attack. I'm laughing here, sorry.
That is a miss.
Okay. Done.
Even with his... Nope, he's flat-footed. That is a hit. My bad.
Okay. In that case, he's getting this plus the 3 that Marisol just did, as well as the key from this one.
So another 33 damage. Yeah, Preacher just casually backhands his head off on that last attack, and he falls to the ground, dead as a doorknob. Well, more dead than he was before this all happened. And that is Magnus.
Okay. Can Magnus just run onto the ship?
Let's see. 45 to get there. Another 50. Well, he can get behind Mador in 1 move, or 2 moves.
Okay, we'll take that.
Meow.
And for his last action, he sustains Bless out to a 10-foot emanation.
Ooh. He's praying that Mador will give a holy spanking to whomever it may concern.
That's the one.
There we are. It is now Edemir's turn.
I will cast Disrupt Undead on the white in front of me.
Oakley.
Fortitude save.
42, baby. 42, DC 31. That is a success. Still a fair amount of damage. Yeah, he's definitely getting his day disrupted by being hit by holy energy constantly. Can't read the paper, can't eat a bagel in peace. Not enjoying it at all.
The soy will jump in the water.
Ooh. Big lizard bro swimming about.
Does he see any of the race that went in the water?
He can see the wraith far away, just flying down by the riverbed, having decided that screw this for a bag of cheese. And it is leaving.
Then that will be my turn.
Oakley dokley. Marzal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot the only enemy I still see standing in front of my door there.
Gotcha.
So first I reload.
That is a hit.
And then I reload.
Smacks a lot of its teeth out of its mouth again. She's going for headshots constantly, but these things they've got pretty thick skulls. And it is Iodi's turn.
Ooh-wee. I will do a 3-action magic missile at the white in front of my door.
Okay.
Pew, pew, pew.
Blows chunks out of it, but it's a tough white. It probably was a master criminal or gang lord or something in life, and it doesn't go down for pennies. However, somebody who's usually not bringing pennies is next up. It is Zara's turn. Wait, why is there a white?
Here.
That thing is gone. By the way, I forgot to delete the token. So I'm assuming you're not going to want to do that.
Aw, not a thing for me to kill. Zara will land here.
Yep, White hears the delightful sound of a heavily armed and armored blue lady with horns landing behind it.
Uh, 38 with a +2, so 40 to hit.
That's a critical.
Is he dead?
I can't answer that because the dice are still rolling on my screen.
Oh, okay.
There we are. Yep. Sara turns that thing into... For a second, it is the world's, at least this continent's, most dynamic wind chime. Chime. And then bones clatter down everywhere. It has been deleted. And silence reigns around you.
Zara leans over the railing and starts vomiting.
Oof.
I'm gonna jump down from my roof and take a look at the ammunition over here. Thank God we did not put that on fire.
Yeah, you're a gunslinger, so you recognize all of this. It's some of it is grape shot for cannons. A lot of it is large lead balls for an arquebus or other large bore, more primitive weapon than the rifle you're using. And the barrels that Mador and Magnus have been standing on while fighting are filled with gunpowder.
Yeah, I suggest you jump down from there and do not hit those barrels.
He jumped out.
Jump. It climbs down very carefully.
Damn.
However, find one pouch with a very interesting projectile. This is obviously magical.
Ooh.
See what it says here. A deep blue-black with motes of light playing on it, like stars in the night sky. Iodi's gonna have to identify that for her, but it's definitely magical ammunition.
Cool. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna refill all my pouches with powder so that I can continue to fire and shit.
Yep, and we have been going for a bit over 2 hours, so we will take 10 at this time, and be back at roughly 8:41 to 43.
Okay.
Back, everybody. We have jumped live. We are having a bit of an oopsie doodle with Fancy Grounds that we're trying to solve, but we'll just let the players do some playing while we try to fix that in the background.
Scene. Preacher is leaning very crouched, so to speak, against the railing, looking pale for being him, meaning his glowing lights, which usually kind of persists around his runes, is very faint.
Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?
The big one actually he drained a lot of my energies, and I'm feeling fairly weak at the moment. I just need a good rest or 3.
Well, the good news is that we seem to now have a good ship you can do it on.
Does anybody know how to operate this thing?
You mean sail?
Yes.
Not the foggiest. Paricha, let me have a look at you, see if there's something I can do to help.
Yeah, feel free. It's I'm no sailor either, by the way, so
Aye, but with your engineering knowledge, doubtless there's something you can work out about all these ropes and pulleys and... you took a bit of a whack there.
the base understanding of how to get about is fairly easy. But the finery of catching wind and making it perform well, that's another matter. I mean, I could probably rig it with the sail down, but that's easy.
Aye, well, if we put our heads together, I'm sure we can come up with something. I'm just gonna check my bag for a few things.
I think Marisol we would benefit if we could find any surviving sailors, if there are any in the town, because trying to go out there and face whatever is underneath the waves might be rough on us.
Good idea. I'm Zara, will you come with me and see if we can find some sailors in town?
Zara's gonna straighten up from cleaning all of the undead goo off of her with prestidigitate. Oh, sure. I doubt that there's anyone left in this town that has a pulse.
Yeah, me too, but it's a better shot than, just sailing out without knowing how to sail.
I would be careful to search. There might be more undead, because that wasn't very many of them.
As I had said, they had just launched a assault force towards La Rochette.
I mean, if we can find a soul with skill, that would be good as well, I guess, if somebody can talk to it a bit.
I'd also like for us to visit that temple before we set sail.
How far out is it? Do you know?
About an hour outside the reach of the city.
Well, if we can find someone to get the ship ready, then they can do that while we go check out the temple.
As I stated before, does anybody know how to, I guess, sail this thing? Because I would not be comfortable with going out to sea not knowing how to do this with all the other ships that have these big guns that you have.
I can help with that. You hear a voice from in between the barrels.
Hello?
You hear some flapping sounds, and then coming into visibility is a small purple dragon-like creature with butterfly wings, a straw hat clutching a purse, and flapping in the air in front of you.
Hey, is that one of those Fae things that some people are afraid of?
Perhaps?
Don't put me in the same box as those hooligans. I'm more related to him than to them, she says, and nods towards Iodi.
What's your name, little one?
I'm Cian Kelderman.
How do you do? I'm Marisol Barlow.
I've been hiding here, eating bugs for the last couple of days after they attacked. They took some of the people in the village, some of the sailors, and my husband, and traded them with the Cyclopes in that temple you're talking about for that suit of nasty butt stink armor over there that their commander was wearing.
Well then. So can you help us get the ship ready while we go see if we can do something for those who are traded in the temple?
Well, I can't do much with the ship, but I know there are sailors there with my husband. In that temple, we've always known about it, but the Cyclopes, I mean, knights have come and sometimes tried to clear them out, but they've never come back. Supposedly an old temple with lots of treasures in it from, ages back, but I've never been stupid enough to go out there. Like one thrown rock from a Cyclops, and I'd just be a faint smear on a tree somewhere. Those things, they can see into the future, I'm sure of it, because they always know where you are, and they always hit super hard.
Well then,
Yep.
Can you tell us the fastest way to get there?
It'll be pretty easy. You follow that trail out there that these undead hooligans just took machetes and axes and stuff and cleared up to the temple so they could march up the prisoners.
Well, that seems like the natural place to go then, Sarah. And I have an interesting issue. Instead of Marisol, I get Mador as possible character career selection.
Well, That's pretty much all I can do. But if you guys are going up there, well, best of luck to you. It's a pretty nasty place. For sure. I mean, those temple things. There's a lot of marble there. I mean, this town could get pretty rich, honestly, if we could harvest that stuff and sell it. But as I said, any knights that's gone up there, well, they ain't gotten back.
Aye, well, that's as may be, but tonight's job to go and try.
Oh. You're definitely free to do that. I mean, it's the fisherman's job here to fish, but anytime anybody's seen a sea serpent, I haven't seen anybody stupid enough to try and go pull him out of the lake. Well, once, but they didn't come back in.
Aye, well, sea serpents are no my area of expertise, but your husband and some of the other villagers are out there. Well, that would be my job to go and try and rescue them.
Well, it's up to you guys. I'm definitely not going there. I mean, I love Hank as much as anybody, but I like not being flattened by a huge club way more.
Well, you stay here then, and we'll go take a look. We were going to the temple anyway.
Do you think you could turn the ship around to point towards the actual lake up there?
Not alone for sure. Not alone. That'd be not great. Some sort of suicide maybe. And I for one prefer to not try to man a huge boat, a ship, sailing war thing on my own, because that sounds silly and like the sort of thing where I'll just ruin it for everybody. Me and Hank, we own the pub. So I don't know. I could draw you up a pint or go make a pie if not everything is rotted, but I can't really do much for for the rest of the year.
Well, then I guess we're
Be up to
gonna
you.
head towards the Cyclops.
Well, best of luck to you all. I for sure am not coming along. But she looks around. Which one of you is like the big tough knight that needs to be able to protect the others? And she looks between Magnus and Mador.
That would be me, dear lady.
Okay. She flies around, rubs her wings a bit, and a bit of fairy dust falls down on Magnus's boots. I don't know if it'll help, but doesn't let you run on water for the next hour or so.
I'll take it. Every blessing helps. Thank you.
You might want to consider packing your bags. Even though we killed the things that were here at the time, there are more en route.
Oh, trust me, I'll be joining you guys on that ship. I'm not staying here to hide and eat bugs for another couple of days.
That's if we come back.
Well, you just deleted all of those nasty undead, so I'll spend the hour stocking as much food as I can that's not spoiled onto this ship.
Good thinking.
Well, best of luck to y'all.
All right, let's go see if we can find this temple then.
One moment, Magnus, if you would.
Aye, preacher.
Right, so I'm just gonna let you guys do your healing while you do that. Meanwhile, are you planning to scout out this area as well? In that case, I will need to know who is scouting and what they are rolling.
Zara would like to scout after she gets some band-aids.
I will also scout.
Very well. Give me some rolls. Yes, please. Oh boy. Ah, well, good thing Ed's got that plus 10 for being tiny. Right, so I'm gonna place the two of you and also Iodi out as usual so that people can see.
The 22 is with the plus 10.
Oh, okay. Well then. Boom, 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 boom. Then Edamir is not going to be able to get any particularly good spots.
Thank you for the big boy heal, Magnus.
See, where is Iodi? I'll put Iodi next to Zara, and we'll see if you guys can actually see anything from there, or if this map has decided that this place is just closed and I can't open it. Yeah. Yeah, you can't see a damn thing from there. I'll put you where you can see a damn thing. The so-called temple, there's not a lot left of it. There are some marble columns here and there, and you see large chunks of marble on what is now a submerged road, and a small peninsula popping out from that road with several cyclopes on it. There might have been an altar up there at some point, and you could see a bunch of prisoners kept in a pen made of just huge logs. It looks like there are several of the well, you could say regular cyclopes. These are about a foot taller than an ogre, so maybe 8 feet tall, and they're not showing up for some reason. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll try the other ones. And there are some way bigger cyclopes. These are maybe 12 feet with a huge horn jutting out of their head that you can also see. We'll see if sharing shows them off. Nope. Fancy Grounds has decided to be weird about this today. Fair enough. You can see them, though, going around, walking around. There's also, behind the pen up in the bushes, you can see a piece of marble that's probably what's left of an altar, where there's several items that have withstood the time and the rain and Cyclops handling them, more or less guaranteeing that they're going to be magical. The one that stands out the most to you is an entirely white suit of plates with a white tabard and a white cloak as well, but no insignia on it whatsoever. Also engraved with gold. Definitely expensive, guaranteed to be magical. But probably the most important thing is the 50-odd people in that pen, and from what you can see from the Cyclops cooking fire, maybe 20 or so that they've eaten in the last couple of days. Judging from the bones scattered about. I'm going to pull the rest of the party on because none of you actually did manage to get spotted, even though Edamir did his level best, so that y'all can plan where your attack is going to come from. Because I am a kind and loving GM, and I let you do this sort of thing. Still don't need Estrella. Let's remove her. So if Eody wants to be up on that hill, he probably will just put him on the side there so that he gets line of sight. Because for some reason they have decided that being on top of the high hill, you can't see anything.
Makes sense. Yeah, that'll work.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it.
Zara would like to do a lore check on the Great Cyclopses.
The Great Cyclops. That's a good lore check. And from what she knows, Cyclops were a high civilization in the ancient times, along with giants. But they were struck by the same curse that has made most giants feral and stupid and brutish and evil. The Great Cyclops are pretty much just huge variants of a regular Cyclops. A regular Cyclops is slightly larger than an ogre. A Great Cyclops is about the size of a fire giant. These things are like most giant types. Using a catapult is pointless because they'll just pick the rock out of the air and yeet it back at you. They're also known for taking mortal wounds and still managing to get a strike or two in before they're put down. They're very hard to kill in one go. And nobody really knows why, but there is a theory that Cyclops actually can see into the future because they have a supernatural way of just getting a perfect hit on people. In addition, the Great Cyclops have a tendency to charge and hit people with their horn. So probably anything within 70 to 100 feet would be a target for them to just run up and horn people in the face, because they are big and they are fast. Not particularly smart. They don't really have a lot of special abilities. They're just huge, strong, and very tough.
Question before we get started.
Yes, sir.
I presume the sneaking did take a few extra minutes.
Yes, it did.
Did I have enough time to perform a 20-minute to repeated meditation moment so I can get
I will
points?
definitely say that, because the sneaking takes at least half an hour to do properly.
Cool.
Even with the speed Zara and Edamir can do it at.
Well, I'm not certain that there's much to this fight other than kill them before they kill us. It's a lot more powerful flesh.
They are all within chain lightning range.
They sure are.
It has been an hour since our last fight, right?
That it has. So while we're discussing, just place yourselves where you want to be once you start the ball here.
Before we go up there, if everybody would gather around me.
Sure.
I'm going to cast level 4 water walk on everybody.
Ooh.
Nice.
So for the next hour, we can walk on water.
The hill behind Yodi and Sarah there, that's a hill, right? Can I sit on top of it?
That is a hill. You can indeed.
I'll just place myself there so I can see things, but I'm on top, really.
We can even no, we couldn't.
There we go. It actually works.
Sneak you on top of that thing for once. Hey, tiny
Cool.
doggo. Tiny doggo needs snackos. Because you're a good dog. Yes, you are. Right. Has everybody placed themselves where they want to be, or do you have some sort of ideas? If you go out onto the beach, you're going to get spotted. As long as you're not on the beach, you'll be unvisible.
Yeah, I want to have a word with Mador and Magnus first.
Okay.
Are we going to split up or try and stay together, boys?
I think we should stay together this time. If we split up, well, together the three of us can rotate round taking hits, and it's possible to heal one-on-one. Those giant cyclops, well, they'll just hit us one at a time.
But the only thing I see with that, Preacher, is you rely on your speed for your attack. So we would actually be slowing you down.
Oh, I'll be heading in, but the difference is heading in alone on one flank and getting 3 on me.
No, I don't think we should split.
All right. In that case, do either of you want to lift up until the front line? Meaning I can actually carry you?
Well, I can run at 35 feet, so matter.
I don't know how that would look there, Preacher, but I guess so.
All right. Then let's start up here in the shrubbery.
Somebody very carefully whispers, "Neat."
Yep.
I
And
shut
I'll
one down.
I'll prepare my weightlifting belt and get Mador comfortably, and then I'll rush forward after the spell slinging has begun.
Okay, so what is the plan here? Who's going to touch the ball off? Is it going to be Yodi and Ed again? The Eodamir thing?
Chain lightning. And they are all within 30 feet of each other. So all targets going down the line.
Yes, somebody must have set them up really stupidly for that to be a thing. Can't imagine who would do such a thing. Definitely not somebody with actual tactical training. So that's Edamir. What's Yodi? Yeah, you're both chain lightninging. So that's a DC 31 save, is it? Reflex,
Yes,
if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Okay, that is going to hurt. Oh boy, that's going to hurt a lot. Okay, give me your damage rolls. Right, so Edamir's chain lightning goes out first, catches the Cyclops completely with their pants down, and goes hitting everybody. Luckily, not electrocuting everybody inside of the pen. Because the Cyclops are so tall that the lightning actually arcs over the logs of the pen without going down and hitting any of the civilians there. And then Yodi's chain lightning follows up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular Cyclops fall down, having had a fatal heart attack.
I give Yodi a high five.
While the big ones look like they have definitely been zapped pretty damn good. Just deleting some Cyclops here. And that is the initiative round. I assume you want me to just go in regular initiative order for your ambush attack here. I've got to stop letting you guys ambush constantly. So, not surprisingly, with another 40, the second today initiative, it is Preacher.
All right. I kick it off using my new and lovely boots, which are, if I don't remember wrong, dinosaur boots greater. And I cast enlarge on myself, turning huge. Meaning my door goes for a ride upwards as I become huge.
Yep.
And I stomp over here into the water since I can water walk now.
Only issue you have is that after having clicked your heels together, you are now in Kansas. You and Modor go for a run. Sure. Suddenly carrying Modor is not that difficult on account of you being the size of one of these great Cyclops, able to see eye to eye with it.
And I end up smacking the person there. I basically let Matter go. And then I smack the guy with just a single punch.
Okay, go for it, sir.
Hello.
Uh, 37 is a hit, sir. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, I'm in a good mood today. There's a lot of tone-deaf humming.
+3.
+3, so that's going to be a 28. 28, 2-8. Yeah, that Cyclope definitely knows it's been punched. It is none too happy about it. But these things are huge and tough. Even though it's just been electrocuted twice, it's still standing tall. Was that your turn, sir?
Yep.
That takes us to Magnus.
Run and hit.
Magnus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Magnus is going to run straight after Preacher towards that great Cyclops with his shield and Warhammer in his hand.
Wah!
Charge! Apologies. And he's going to take a big swipe at the great Cyclops.
That's a hit, sir.
Okay. Okay, hold on. One thing. As the hammer hits the Cyclops, there is a shattering burst of thunder.
Ooh. And he whacks that Cyclope in the shin. Probably hurts like a female dog. Was that Magnus's turn?
2 moves and a whack? Yes, I believe so.
In that case, it is Marisol.
Yeah, so I have used the time when I got up there to lie down and aim, so I'm gonna shoot that Cyclops.
Gotcha. Roger. It's
30.
30. Is 30 a hit? Let's check the armor class. She hits it in the horn, and the bullet pings off. not actually injuring it.
Reaction.
Reaction for Preacher then.
My lord. Preacher whacks it again. He's the same size as this thing as well, so it looks it's a pretty epic fist fight with a 11-foot tall preacher boxing this giant. Alright. Well, they are a type of giant.
I reload.
Okay. It's Mador now. Having been brought up as a passenger on the pain train.
Question: the sword I got, that's a two-handed weapon,
That is correct, sir.
so that still has reach then.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It's a two-hander, but it's not long enough to give you reach.
Now it's more like a half 1.5 hand.
I think a daikatana or something like that.
Yep. All right. Well, then I'll use the glaive on the one in front of me.
Oakley dokley.
I don't think I have to move up since I probably have reach on him.
You do have reach on him from where you are. As I assume Preacher wouldn't have put you far away so that you wouldn't have reach. He could have if he wanted to be a dick about it, but I find that to be highly unlikely.
29.
First one is a miss, as the Cyclops. You hit a trinket on its knee that turns out to be a shield. And that is a hit. Good hit, sir. Good hit. Fire for effect. And that Cyclops is now definitely reeling from the amount of punishment it's taken.
And last attack.
The third attack is also a miss. Which leaves us with, for once, the lowest initiative, Zara.
Zara will take 2 moves to come adjacent to this guy.
Okay.
And then she is going to swing at him.
This is a huge bro, but he's just not fast enough to actually manage to smack her on the way in. The club smashes into the ground behind her. That is a hit, madame. And I do believe he's got weakness to you as well.
Correct, so it's an extra +7.
That is 43 damage. Math. Yes. And then we go to the initiatives. No, actually we do not, because I've forgotten one bro that has actions. Even though his master has acted, Isoy gets his 2 actions.
Oh, yep, that's right. He will move there.
My mistake. It's kind of fun seeing him run on water after having gotten that water walk. He seems sort of surprised that he's not just gliding into the water and swimming. Surprisingly fast, it is the Great Cyclops' turn. And the first one is going to swing its Great Club at Preacher, and that is a critical. Smacking him for 52 bludgeoning damage and shoving him 10 feet. So he's actually now standing... Mador is standing between Preacher's legs. I'm just going to move him one... I'm just going to move him there so that we see where Mador is. So that was the first attack. It's going to swing at Preacher again. And that is a hit. For another 28 bludgeoning. And it is going to swing at Preacher again. But that one he dodges. Or blocks, actually. And then it's the second one over by Zara. First of all, it's going to see if it hits her. It does. So that is a critical on Zara. For 66 bludgeoning damage. And she's also moved 10 feet back. And then it is going to swing at her 2 more times. Second one's a miss. And third one is a miss, as Sara manages to dodge the huge club. And then it is Preacher.
Well, having gotten quite enough of this guy, charging up with the 8 points. And since I have reach, I can stand here. I have 10-foot reach.
That you do.
And I'll do the regular combo. Flurry of blows. Second one is a combat grab. See if I can wrestle a Cyclops.
Preacher's got big hands right now. You know what they say about people with big hands. They need big gloves. Those are 2 hits, sir.
Here comes some damage for the first one with an additional 2 force points.
35 with your fire, I believe.
It's actually, 3 for the fire and 4 for me being super large.
Ah, so even more damage.
Yep.
And the second one, Preacher manages to get that great Cyclops in a headlock and then just snap its neck, and it falls to the ground. I do believe that leaves you with 2 actions.
That is correct. The forest next to Zara. How thick is that? Can I go through it?
You can go through it. There's going to be some snapping branches, but it's not going to be enough to slow you down at your current size. You're taller than most of those bushes. This is swampland bushes, after all. They're not particularly thick or hard.
I'll try and get there around Zara.
Whoomp, 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 whoomp. Yep.
That should be 1 action, and I should be within 10.
That you are, sir.
So I'll just give him a good old kick.
Oh boy, that is a critical.
Reaction shot.
Son of a biscuit. Yep, okay.
And a miss.
I'm still supercharged key, so this is going in. Oh my god. And 3 and 4. So 7 additional.
For a total of 71 damage, Preacher sprints up and Rochambeaus that Cyclops like it hasn't been Rochambeaued in millennia. And it is now Magnus's turn.
Taking it that Preacher is the only one that can run through that bush, or can the rest of us shoulder our way through?
There's been a path cleared up to where Preacher is right now by an 11-foot terracotta man sprinting through it.
Excellent. Big swathe through the bush. Magnus will move to there.
Yep.
Past the Preacher to there. And then we'll have another go at the whammo.
That's a critical.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Cyclops is currently...
Wait. Plus 2. Pull with the shattering blast of thunder. And I believe the Cyclops is also pushed back because this is a shove weapon.
No, it's a Warhammer, so he's prone.
Yeah. No. But it's not really relevant. The Cyclops is on both knees, holding both his hands to its groin, leaning forward, puking after Preacher kicked it in the nads, as Magnus sprints up and just smacks that Warhammer straight down flat onto its head, crushing its skull, instantly killing it, and that was probably a bit of a mercy to do, honestly. Because Preacher kicked that thing hard enough in the groin that his eyes changed color to brown. So that was Magnus's turn. It is now Edamir.
I will focus spell Stormwind Flight on myself and fly 25 feet that way.
Tiny flying fox. It looks epic to anybody with a set of binoculars.
And Isoi will just move to there.
Very well.
That'll be it for me.
That's Marisol then.
Yeah, so I actually can't see the last Cyclops from where I am.
I'm gonna say with the size of that thing, it gets cover from those bushes, so you can see it. It is at 140 feet from you.
Yeah, so I'll need to slide down and get a bit closer, so it's within my first range increment.
Unless you want to take a -2 to hit.
And lose all my possibilities of shooting it if a creature hits it. No, thank you.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna run over here. Do I need to roll something to not stumble down from there?
Give
or-
me a DC 15 athletics or acrobatics to get down from there without stumbling and taking a D6 of damage. It's only a 10-foot drop, but you never know. You could trip on the way down. No,
Oh yeah.
easily jumps down and gets over there.
So while I do that, I also reload, and I'll shoot the Cyclops.
It's a great Cyclops. Very well. Fire for effect.
And since it's the last one, I'll swear to kill it.
So is Marisol going to set herself on fire this session as well? Let us find out. That is a miss. That is, however,
a hit.
I was starting to get worried for you there. It's sort of been a theme for Marisol these last 25 sessions, being on fire.
There's a reason I have invested in fire resistance.
Yeah.
So for a total of 30, and I reload.
Punches are shot clean into its forehead, but that's probably about a foot of bone you need to get through, so it is not enough to kill it, just give it a slight headache.
It should have been just 1d6 there. It should be 6 fire damage and then 4 persistent fire damage.
That's fine. The others can't see it, but Preacher can see the fairy dragon down in the corner next to Isoi. It's going like, "Come on, lads! This is our time to go!" And he pulls out a bit of chalk and draws a door onto the pen they're in and then opens it. And everybody starts sprinting out of that pen over towards Mador. Speaking of Mador, it is Mador's turn.
Okay, so I don't think I can see that Cyclops from where I am because it's kind of in the black for me.
Yeah, if you'd been a sniper like Marisol, you would have been able to take a shot, but not.
So I'm
from where you're currently at.
going to sprint in front of Preacher and brace for a charge.
Ooh, missed a big brain move here, and that takes us to Yodi.
Okay. Yodi is staring intently at the altar at the back of the camp, and he's just gonna start walking towards it.
Very well.
Now would be my turn.
Dazedly, just ambling up there. It is now Azara's turn.
Zara is going to move here. And she's going to throw a ray of frost as soon as I figure out how to open the damn thing.
Yeah, Zara's standing there going like, is it up, up, down, down, left, right, or...
Pew!
That is a hit. I believe that's a fortitude save to not be slowed, isn't that correct? Or is it auto slow?
It's a slow on crit.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Is she gonna do anything else?
Nope, that's all 3 of her actions.
Right.
And, it's an extra 7 because it got hit by her.
We are. It is starting to be real damage. However, it lowers its head, brains up to headbutt Preacher, giving actually both Mador and Magnus an attack of opportunity before it connects with Preacher. That is a hit from Mador with a critical as he was braced for charge, and a miss from Magnus. Our Mador gets him good. Pushes that spear deep into its thigh.
Which
But it
stops
does-
its charge, correct?
That it does. Question is, would it stop the charge far enough away that... See, it would be stopped here. Would it be far enough away that it can still hit Preacher because it's got 15 feet of reach? But holy crap, I just lost the map. Okay.
Can I say something about how this is supposed to function, Shoggoth?
Yes, sir. Please do.
So if this is something like sudden charge, where it's like 2 actions, move and then make an attack,
Yep.
the crit from a door can't interrupts the action. So the attack that would happen after the 2 strides is interrupted. But if
Thank you.
he takes 2 strides and then makes an action and they're separate functions, then it wouldn't interrupt it.
See, strides twice and makes a horn strike, but it's a 2 action, so I'm gonna assume it actually works out the way you first spelled it out there.
It
That
just wouldn't get the bonus from the charge. It would be able to make a strike with its 3rd action, though.
it would be able to make a strike with its 3rd action. Oakley dokley. In that case, that is a critical, and it smashes into Preacher for a good solid 90 piercing damage.
Preacher goes down.
Tossing him back another 10 feet, and he lands on his ass, knocked out and potentially dying from the force of that attack. However, it's not quite done. As Mador stabbed it, it's gonna swing its club at him as well. I believe Mador is pretty good at defending himself. Yep, he dodges that easily. Let's see, shouldn't have another action. That's a 2 action for it, leaving it with
But
a
it got
3rd
interrupted.
somewhere. Okay.
Like,
So
because he got hit by the critical, the rest of that action after the 2 strides is ended. It doesn't get that. It then has a 3rd action it can still spend, which it can use to headbutt Preacher.
thank you. In that case, it has actually not headbutted Preacher for 90. He is still up. And it is just gonna crit Mador with its club instead, because it's real pissy about having been stabbed in the thigh. So that is a good solid 60 bludgeoning damage to Mador. There we are. I was misreading that rule, but that's very thankful. Thank you for that, Quinn. Mador does not get flattened, though, because he is one tough hombre. And it is now Preacher's turn.
Well, now, having looked the horns in the eye, basically.
Yeah, the only thing that saved you from being sent to the nether realms was Mador stabbing that thing in the gut, or the groin, or the thigh with his Suransur there.
Very thankfully, I step in, and that's probably going to be a long step. So, I spend an action getting close enough to actually grab the guy.
Yep. He does actually have longer reach than you.
So, I'll just smack him twice. I'll attempt a combat grab on the first, though.
It is bleeding profusely from where Mador stabbed it. Holy cow. Okay, that's a critical.
Wow.
Preacher. No, that was Marisol.
Preacher critted, so I reactioned and I jammed my own rifle.
You just shot Preacher. So, roll your damage for that. But it's not a critical hit.
Sorry.
round pings off of Preacher's shoulder. Yeah, you're not used to him being quite that big. He's taking up a lot more real estate than you're used to.
That's 59 for me.
Yeah, Preacher goes in, just now that he knows how to do this, grabs the Cyclops' horn and jaw and just snaps its neck again. And it just falls straight down. Shouldn't have had a handy hold for brawlers to grab if it didn't want that to happen. And yeah, the fairy dragon and all of the sailors are running towards Marisol. We're swimming in this, running. The river gets up to their thigh, roughly. And Yodi reaches the altar.
We'll just put you over there. Yeah, as Yodi reaches the altar, he kind of falls down on his hands and knees, and he seems to be, like, talking to himself a bit. And lets out a really loud scream as his body begins to contort and stretch impossibly. His head becomes really large, his arms and legs and all of that contort, and he turns into a very large, very sickly-looking brass dragon with a odd green tint to it. Flies up into the air, and you hear him say, "Shoggoth has returned!" And he just breathes like a ring of fire around the little island and things of that nature. And he says, "I will burn these lands, and I will get my vengeance." And then he flies off.
What the actual?
Took the words right out of my mouth. What was that all about?
Apparently, his name is Sarbathax now.
Aye, but burn everything?
I mean, isn't that always Yodi's goal? Sorry, Sarbathax's?
Was that the dragon soul that we killed and now exploded the body of?
I have no
Does anybody
idea.
recognize that name?
Zara?
Zara's going to call on her knowledge to try to identify Sargathax.
Very well. Call knowledge.
Do I get a chance to use my knowledge from all the teaching I was getting back with my father and everything?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
And
Done.
also, I know she's not here, but is Estrella technically here?
Nope. Australia's out fucking faffing about.
Darn.
What should I roll under?
I'm gonna give you a lore on a roll on occultism, actually.
Don't know a thing.
That looked a lot like a big ass dragon. However, Zara is aware that Sargothrax was an old, not quite ancient, but close as you get to it. Actually, yes, he was ancient. An ancient brass dragon that was tarnished. A thing that very, very rarely happens to the good metallic dragons. After his rider and everybody that he fought along with in one of the old wards of Golden Glens against Friedrichstadt, actually. Was tarnished, fell from grace, turned evil, and then supposedly served an even more ancient, even larger green dragon but the name escapes those your ancestors, but this green dragon is supposed to have been an ancestor of Shoggoth. A dragon skilled in magic, as skilled as most high mages, in addition to being huge and physically powerful in its own right. It was supposedly slain by its master after failing to fulfill some sort of quest it was given, and turned into a book.
The book that Yodi's been reading.
Apparently.
Well, at least Eody's not a book.
No, but Eode is a mad brass dragon.
So do we kill it?
If we find it.
But then wouldn't we be killing Eody?
Do you think Eode wants to be an evil brass dragon?
Yes.
Point.
But he doesn't want to be Zargothrax. He wants to be Eode. At least the least we could do is kill him so that he has the piece of death.
I mean, it depends whether Zargothrax was in that book or whether it was Eode all along.
Well,
Can we change him back?
I don't know. But
Maybe.
if we see him, we need to... We can't let him live if we find him. Hunter's Mark, where is he?
Do you have Hunter's Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, your Hunter's Mark lasts for approximately 10 seconds before he does something to obscure his trail, and you have no idea where he is.
What direction was in the 10 seconds then?
He was heading pretty much straight west.
So he's heading west. That's the wrong direction. We need to send whatever. We'll need to send a warning to whoever we can, and then we'll need to go save La Rochette before we can go hunt Eode. Or Sargotrax or whatever.
I mean,
Marisol, can you contact Walter?
I can.
Okay, why don't you do that then? If that, at least he's northwest, but at least he can probably get information out too.
Yeah.
Shoggy,
That's me, Daddy-O.
I want to walk over towards the altar and use both my arcane eye as well as read psychometric resonance, see if I can actually pick up any signs of Eody's soul being still in the area. Touching the ground where you stood, for example.
Give us a
Occult?
give us an occult roll, yeah.
That's the skill that's recommended for this.
You're not finding any traces. The altar itself, just a nub of stone, but there's a faint draconic sense to it, although it's fading quickly, as if part of something was kept in there.
There is something here. And I point to the altar with a very super-sized hand. Can somebody
Okay.
find out if there is traces of anything on that stone? Because there is some kind of draconic energy lingering here.
Zara will investigate the altar.
Yes, give us a whatever sort of rolls for that.
There's a lore check, and here's a perception.
Sora's having real difficulties identifying anything about this this altar there, but from the looks around it, she guesses that the Cyclopes have just moved in here. This has not really been one of their temples. The scale of it is too wrong. If she's to hazard a guess, probably a dragon cult, but she can't be certain. Any other scenes anybody want to play out before we call it? Now is the time.
Is that suit of
Yes.
armor still on the altar?
It is. Beautifully made.
No markings or anything, no liveries or anything.
No liveries or anything, but a beautifully crafted set of full plate armor. With a little shield on the shoulder to also show off livery. But all of the liveries is completely blank. And for those who can read it, it's just the power of the celestial beings is being exhorted in the engravings on the armor.
I want to consult the nature spirits around the altar.
Okay.
So I need a recall, knowledge, nature. That doesn't work. How do I do a recall knowledge?
Just roll a nature roll. Well, the nature spirits are.
It's against a DC that you set.
Yep. The nature spirits are very, very timid, and they've been oppressed on this rock for a long time by what they call or describe as an evil dragon spirit. Well, several of them actually, but most of them have dissipated over time. But one of the nature spirits shows you over to a rock featuring some old stone and bone tools that looks like they have something a bookbinder would use.
I'm gonna show him to Zara.
Can I discern anything useful from the stone and tools?
Well, with what you now know and what you're starting to gather, you're guessing that while this temple itself is probably in its heyday would have been a couple of millennia ago when the terrain probably looked completely different. From the tools and everything else, you can guess that it's been 2 or 3 centuries since this place was used as an offering site for some sort of cult.
All signs point to a dragon cult.
Yay, more dragon cults.
And with the presence of the bookbinding tools, I suspect that our guess about who and what the Zargothrax was This might be where he was turned into the tomb that Iodi was carrying.
Aye, maybe.
And then that last little piece that Zargothrax needed to overwhelm Iodi was in the altar. And when Iodi approached it with the book, all of the pieces clicked together, and now we have to deal with a possessed Iodi.
Possessed.
So was Iodi being used this whole time and he was technically never going to be turned into a book?
Or he is currently a book. We won't know until we get our hands on Zargothrax, beat it within an inch of its life, and see if we can separate them.
Exercise it.
I will have to meditate on that. It will take some consulting to try to find out a solution.
I don't think we want it getting stronger. Why would we want it to exercise?
No, not exercise it. Exorcise, as in to send away the spirit from Iodi.
Oh, okay.
On that note, I believe we will call the session here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Session from 2 weeks ago will be up sometime Monday on the YouTubes. This one will be up sometime after that. I don't dare promise anything anymore because I am a scrub at remembering to do that. But they'll be on the YouTubes at some point. For now, we'll let Mr. Tulmar raid. Thank you all for joining. We will probably be back next weekend. We'll update our Discord on that. Link to the Discord will be added in the YouTube video and on the Pathfinding Adventures page, so that you can see updates. We might have some downtime in the coming weeks. We might not. It's a bit up in the air yet. For now, though, stay safe, stay healthy, and be well, and we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye.